Right, good morning everyone. Now, as many of you know, I've been making these, they're like a wraparound scarf. It just sits around the neck. I do them longer as well, and this is one of them. But today what I'm going to show you is how I do this flower. Just let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, I'm going to share with you how I make the flower, because it's a little crocheted flower, dead easy to do, and they look perfect. And these are put on with a very large press stud, and these look stunning. They actually look really pretty when they're on your body. This is another one that I've done, so it's very similar. It's done the same way, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. First of all though, I went into the charity shop the other day and I came across these. Now it says half price. They were £6 and they were selling them for £3, and I snapped them up because they are crystals and they're worth the £3, and you're getting a variety of colour with them. So I've got 3 the same if anybody wants them. So with 3 with those colours. I mean, you've got the teardrop ones, you've got the spaces in between, and you've got the little dangly bits on some of them as well. And then there's this one, which is like a golden colour. I mean, it is gold colour. Again, with the charms hanging off, which can be used on stick pins. Again, teardrop as well. So for that price, you can't, you can't miss bargains like that. And you're getting quite a few crystals for that. Okay, and these are the 8mm ones, so it's a decent size crystal, and they are 6mm. So that's those. Like I say, I will put them on the shop, so if you want them, go grab them from the shop. So that's that. Now let me just put that in a bag. What was the other thing I had? I've got a couple of bags. I've been dismantling some more jewellery. So I have a couple of bags here. They will go on the shop. You have to run and nab them, that's all. These are all crystals. You've got some red, some blue, plain, and like what we call a milky type. Black, purples and that, and green. And then I've got this bag of pearls that's spare, and it's got one large green one, some pink ones in, and the rest are just various sizes of the cream. So they will be going on the shop, but I'm just letting you know, if you want them, you'll go nab them. Now, for this flower, so we're going to need, it doesn't matter what size crochet hook you use. This one is a 4.5, and that's a 6. So I'm going to use a 4.5. Leave a long tail, and I'm going to share with you how I do them. Wrap it round twice, bring the back stitch over the front stitch. That's 30. Right, that's 50 stitches. Right, so I'm only going to show you the smaller one. Am I? No, hang on. one stitch on the needle, wrap it round once, pull it through. Right, that's all I'm going to do for now. It's just to show you how to do the flower. So, roughly, what did I say? Let me just check. 70. So, you're going to do about 80 stitches. I'd do 100. Let me just do 100. It's easier. Okay, so, right, what you do is, you're going to wrap the wool round once and go into every second stitch. Right, everyone, so I've started this off. I've done 100 stitches, and then I'm going back on myself. And the way to do that is you want a stitch in between each one. There's one there, okay? Wrap it round. Count 2 stitches, put the your crochet hook through, pull it, wrap it round once, pull it through, and you're going to go 1, take 1 off, then take 2 off, then take 2 off, and you've made that loop here. Then stitch 1, wrap it round, move up 2, take 1 off, wrap round, take 2 off, wrap round, take 2 off again, then make a stitch. Wrap it round, move up 2, wrap it round, pull it through, take 1 off, take 2 off, take 2 off, make a stitch. And you're going to end up with like a chain like that. It's like a ladder. Now I'll speed this up, and then we'll go to the next stage. Right, as you can see, I've gone all the way along that line, and it just looks like a ladder. So now we're going to come back and we're going to do the scallop. And the way to do that is I'm going to make 3 stitches. Joey! So I've made 3 stitches, and so I class that as 1, but what we're going to do is, if you look at this one, you've sewn many into one of those gaps. So that's 1. So wrap the wool round, go back into the big hole, bring it through. So we don't make one in between this time, but we need 6 of those. So that's 2 I've done. Wrap the wool round, go back into the same hole, and go 1, 2, 3. As you can see, that's 3 chains I've made, and you need to do that 6 times in each hole. 4, 5, 6. Then you make a 1 stitch. So I've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you do 6 in each of every one of those holes. So there we are. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've made a stitch, but then all I'm going to do is put the needle in, pull it through that stitch I've just made, and it starts to make the scallop. So now I need to go into the next set, this hole, and make 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. So that's 2 there. Take 1 off, 2 off, 2 off. That's another one there. Like I say, I will slow it down so you can see me do them. So what have we got there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another one, so it's 6 in every one. Make the stitch, but then don't wrap it round. Just put your needle through the hole, pull your wool through, wrap it round and take those 2 off together. And there you go. You've made a scallop, a petal. And you can have them with or without a central part. I usually put a big pearl in the middle, or a button. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm just going to continue doing this right to the end. I will slow one scallop down for you so you can see how to do it, and I'll do the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make 1 stitch, pop that through the next hole, wrap it round and cast those 2 off. And like I say, you can make these as, you know, I've done 100 stitches. I did 100 stitch chain, and then just come back every 2 to put a little chain in, and then reversed it and gone back to do the flower, the petal. So again, we're just going to start the next petal, and we need 6 lots of 3. So that's 3 there. 3 stitches make 1 chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make your little chain at the top and then bring that back down and just join that together to make that petal there. And then as you pull that across, oops, we need some wool. Okay, oopsie daisy. Like I say, try and get your wool from the middle, because that way you can leave that on the deck. It's not rolling all over the place and it comes out easy. And I was taught that a long time ago. So we're going to start again. Do 6 more sets of 3. So I call that a set of 3. 1, 2, 3 stitches I've made. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make your 1 stitch, your little chain, go back into, don't wrap it over, go back into the next hole, pull it through, wrap it over and pull it through, and make your 1 stitch there. Yeah, like that. See how it's coming along? I'll be back when it's finished. Right, I've come to the last, I think it's 2, there's 1 there, and this one I'm doing at the moment, so I just thought I'll share this with you, and you'll see how to finish off. And remember, I'm still making chains of 3 stitches, so that's, you take 1 off, then 2 off, yeah, and then the last 2, and you do that 6 times, so this is the 3rd one. That's 4, and you can move them up, you can pull them up like that, so you have a little bit more room. And that's the last one on that one. That's set. Make your stitch at the end. And then you've come to the very end where, remember when I came back on myself, so it left that little hole there. So, again, put the your crochet hook through, pull it through, make a stitch. And then you can do your last 6 through that hole. And that's going to be the centre of your flower. So that's 1. What am I doing? Yeah, 2. Lost where I was then, sorry. 2, 3, back through that hole, make another 4 after this one, so that's 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that was my stomach. I've not eaten this morning. 5. And it's letting me know it's hungry. I do apologise. 6. So that's the last one. Then you make that 1 stitch and pull it through. Now, you need to leave a long enough thread because you're going to stitch it into a flower. So we just pull that through. Left a nice long thread. Pull that down so you pull it into itself, and there you go. Let me just pop these to one side. I've made the length I need for my particular flower. So I'm just going to get the needle. So where I finished is where I'm going to start stitching it, and I've left a nice long thread, probably more than I need, but hell. There we go. I think I've got it now. Yeah. Right. So you need a nice sharp needle. Now don't put too much on the end. Don't pull it too far because it gets caught up. So what we're going to do is, you can see which way the flower lays, but you can have it either way. It's completely up to you. Now what I start with is oops, I just pricked myself. What I start with is I roll that in. Just roll that. Now the stitching line is going to be this bit you started with, but you can this will be the stitching line in a minute, but you just, to start with, you need to do it on that row. So we're just going to fill this in, start this off. Oops, why have you got caught up there? Why is it when I'm trying to film something, it don't go right? Get out. Right, here we go. So, we just pull that, because you're making the centre of the flower. So again, I'm just going to fold that over and stitch that from the back, from the bottom section. So all we're doing is, we're rolling it over, just curling it up. And this is the bit we're stitching at the moment. So you can roll it 2 or 3 times, put your needle through from the front, from the back to the front, and just do this bit at a time. And I'm just going to put a couple of stitches in there like that. Okay, so we've started that off. I want mine a little tighter, but I can stitch that later. So now what I'm going to do is turn the flower upside down. See, I've got that. And then we need to start and stitch this section here. Oops, a daisy. See, that's what can happen. You can knot your wool. Sorry about the dog barking. I'm making it look like I'm making a bloody hash of it, but I'm not. Right, so I'm now stitching the flower from the bottom section. That's the front, that's the bottom. So what I'm going to do is just start and keep wrapping this around, catching the centre with the bit at the edge. Okay? Like that. Just wrap it round and catch the centre and the edge. And you just do this for the first section, first part of it. And that just gets that going. See? We've got that. So now I'm just wrapping that around, and now I'm going to go from there and then I'm just going to do a couple of stitches up here and start and wrap that around, and it's going to be this section, this bit here. Can you see? See the edge of the petal? That's what I'm going to be stitching now. And I'm pulling mine in. I don't want it out here like that. It won't look right. So I'm pulling it in to make it a little bit more laid. So look like it's laid properly. And I'm just stitching it into the flower. Like that. Wrapping it round. Just making each petal sit on top of each other, but slightly outwards. So right now I'm ignoring, now I've got it going, I'm ignoring the edge. Just ignore it. And you stitch in this section, the bottom of the petal onto the petal below. Like that, see, just making sure the petal's right below it. Sorry, I hope you're seeing this. Just make sure you keep twisting this back to where it should be. See? So, again, petal underneath, I'm just sitting my petal on top, but like that. It really naturally forms like that once it's been crocheted. See, we ignore this bit. So, just hold the bottom. I'm holding the bottom petal with the one above it and just stitching it into place. And you can see how it's developing. Now don't worry about this because we stitched that in the back. We haven't finished yet, just stitching it on. like a flower. We have to go back and stitch in some of this, and then you catch the middle and pull it into the base of the flower. You see what I mean? Now, I have to tell you, when Joey saw these, that I had a pile of them because I'd made some scarves. I had to do each one a colour for to match the scarf. He thought it was a game, something for him to play with. And he actually now owns 2. And on a night, he comes upstairs when I've gone to bed and I sit and watch my telly and do my knitting. And he gets on the bed and I have to play 5 minutes of throwing one of these like a frisbee to him before he settles down on the bottom of the bed. And he does it every night. And I think, right, okay. And you know, if I, excuse me, if I put this, his toy, I let him, he sleeps on it mainly. He puts it underneath him and sleeps. It's like a comfort thing to him, I think, now. But if I take it from him and put it on the side table at the side of the bed, he sits there and he'll paw me. He'll do that and let me know he wants to play. And he looks at me and then looks at the flower on the table, then looks back at me. And then looks back at the flower until I get the flower. So now I leave it with him and he lays on it on the bed. It's soppy. Really soppy. You believe how old they are now? My God. And I've got them as puppies. What were they? 8-week-old? Jeez. I think they're 12 this year, aren't they? Something like that, yeah. 12. Jesus. And they're starting to look old. They're getting the grey hair now. The grey fur around the face. And ever since I've fallen, when I fell down the stairs, oh God, he did panic. He did panic. They both did, actually. And our Lucky now sits outside the bedroom door, but just on the top of the landing. It's like he's protecting me. Bless him. But yeah, so I know it frightened him. It bloody frightened me. It's one of those moments when you see your life flash in front of you. I now know how poor Raymond felt when he fell into that river on them rocks, because he must have felt like his time was up. Right. So, let's have a look. I'm just gonna, yeah, I think that'll do like that. So, let me just see how I want this. Like that. Just like that. Excuse me. And I'm just going to pin that into that bit. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is to just join these two here. The two petals, which will pin that one down. So we've got that, and of course I now need to sort the centre out. you see your petals are stitched in. So what I'm going to do is take my wool, go back to the centre, like that. Let me just go to this one. Like that. Going to cut this one. Make sure I cut the right one. Tie these two together. Cut this one out of the way. And then I can work on the central bit. And all I'm going to do is to pin the centre down. Yeah. That's it. Like that. I'm happy with that. That's fine. They don't have to be perfect at all. And now all I'm going to do is attach to the centre, go round it from the centre to the outer edge, then we'll go back through, and don't pull it tight because you're going to end up pulling the flower, but it stitches everything down. See, that's why we leave this thread so long. It's enough to do everything at once. And I love the way they lay flat, and you can put a pressed on, which is what I do with mine, and I attach them to my scarves. But you can put them on bags, headbands, whatever you want to do with them. And this is nobody's pattern but mine. I haven't copied anybody. I made this pattern myself, this flower. And like I say, you can put the press studs on, which I'm going to do actually, because I need to do mine. Right, these are the ones I use. They are like a giant one. They're really nice. And obviously that has to go on the centre. There. So, just going to work my way back through. And we'll come up one of the holes. See, like that. And then what I do is I just do a stitch into the hole, move to the next one, and I need this for a scarf I'm making. Somebody ordered some lovely scarves. If you go on the shop website, you'll see them there, hats, gloves, scarves that I'm making. And these are for the neck scarves, which it just wraps around the neck but hangs down the front, you know, between the bust line. They're gorgeous, comfortable to wear, and again, my own creation. There are some about, I've seen them, but I haven't copied anybody. I do my own patterns. Although the pictures are online on the shop, they're made to order. So I know Judy's bought this one, and I'm sorry, Judy, if you think your order's a bit late, but like you do know that they're made to order. Apart from the cushion that you bought, that's already been done. So now I had this to do, put this onto the scarf, and then your order can go to you, love. And you know it won't take long, so I'll send it first class. So that's all you need to do. You don't need to do any more than that. There's the press stud. Just take it to the side. Oops. Doesn't matter that that's on there, it still clips in together fine. Did I put the camera back on? Yeah. I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did. I'm sat here doing this, could be talking to myself. That's it. And then we just push that through to the other side and do a couple of stitches. And that is secured on. Okay. So that, and like I said, you can add buttons or something in the centre or whatever you want to do. And that goes onto the scarf. So this, I can't get the scarf because I've got to just finish about 1 inch. So I'm going to do that later tonight. And then this will all be sent out to you tomorrow, love. But I do need to sort that centre out. I don't know. Oh, I know, I've got some buttons. Hang on. Right, I've just put the button in there. And, yeah. They're nice, aren't they? I'm going to do this one. So, all I did is I popped on some glossy accents in the middle, some hot glue around the edge, and then when you wash the scarf you don't need to wash the flower, you just wash, take it off. I need to put one on there. That one's for a scarf I'm doing my daughter. I'd forgotten to switch the camera on when I finished this. I've got the top section to do, that's all. But I did manage to finish this and it does look gorgeous. And I just did a plain back. And there you go, that's a little dangly bit that we put on it. Oops, put on it as well. So I do apologise for that, folks. And all it was basically, I mean, I might go over it with a little bit of black here and there, just to the lines, that's all. But I love that. I love how it's turned out. I'm pleased as punch with it. And yeah, I do apologise, but I did forget to turn the camera on. I am sorry, but that's done anyway. My sister gave me this, so it's another bauble that I can decorate, but it's a large round one, already white. And I've got another one of these that I might do something else with. It's really hard for me because I've done every project possible. There's thousands of videos, folks, to go through. And I did notice some of them are starting to comment on the older videos, which is good, but they were the crap ones. But they were good content, just the way they filmed. I filmed with a webcam and it were awful. Yeah. So, like I say, I had a lot of feedback from the chair yesterday, so that's good. Like I said, I'm not going to be banging videos out like I did before. I'm just going to film when I film and that's it. If you can, please go to the shop, and by you buying from there, it's keeping that shop open. Obviously, I know money's scarce, it's getting scarcer. I understand people are going to these big companies, you know, get it there, next day delivery, cheap as chips, quality's not always there, and they're not gonna, you know, they're putting us out of business. So I'm asking, along with a lot of other content creators, to think about the little man, and to keep them going, you need to keep, you know, shopping there as well. So I can't say any more than that. I've been saying it for the last 2-3 years. They are closing everybody down, but you're helping them do that because you're not, you're going for fast service. You want it next day or you want it on the day. It's it all goes hand in hand. It really does. But you're not helping the little ones keep open. You're helping them close us down. And I can't be any fairer than that, and I'm not going to lie. It's the truth. So if you want to continue buying from the shops, not just mine, but from all the others that are struggling to make a living, I have to say, then keep buying from the big ones and you'll shut them down. And yeah, when they go tits up, we won't be around. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.